Hello and welcome to my very first Speed Build Sunday, where I build a cottage-style home here in Henford-on-Bagley. Now starting off with this build, I am going to be building this house not exactly to the floor plan as you see on the screen. I'm purely using it for just inspiration of the shape of the house that I'm going to be building today. Right here is where I decide to make the house as simple as possible in terms of shape, and this will help me with the roofing here in a little bit. This is where I decide I am happy with the layout that I have inside, and I'm going to start roofing. I tried to add a roof to the back porch, but then I decided that I really didn't like it, so I removed it. I also decided to raise the foundation. Here you see me choose a brown type of fence, but later I change my mind about it and I change it back to white. Here I decided to go with just the stone wallpaper for the exterior of the house because the brick wallpaper that is AI placed, I didn't like how it was placing those columns that you usually see on the corners with that type of wallpaper, so I changed it. And as you can see here, I am messing with the fireplace. I eventually change it a lot. I really go back to that fireplace. I hate it. I remove it. I add it. I remove it. And eventually you will see me happy with what I put down instead. Here's the point where I finally get the fireplace the way I like it. I'm fiddling with the roof pieces here, but then I decided to just copy the roof and place it down, and then voila! Finally, I got to a point where I was happy with the fireplace. A lot of times when I am building in The Sims, I love to use the Move Object cheat. If you don't know how to enable that, you just simply press Ctrl-Shift-C on your keyboard and type in bb.moveObjects space on. Here I add in some window flower baskets. It's the part where I changed the brown fence into a white fence. Then I also decide to add it to the front again as well. Now here comes the fun part, the wallpaper. In the cottage living pack, there is several different wallpapers that you can choose from, and they're all really great in their own ways. But however, I think they're just a little too busy. So sometimes it's best to go simple. So you can see me here trying to find a wallpaper that I really like. This is where I decided on a plain wallpaper. First I went with the white and then the brown, but then I thought the brown was too much, so then I went back to the white. Now doing the kitchen, I think this was my favorite part of this build because I have never used the kitchen stuff from the Cottage Living pack. So here I am placing down the cabinets in the fridge and the upper cabinets, and I think I, I really did a nice job with the kitchen here. I originally thought I would add a kitchen island to this kitchen, but I realized once I put down the kitchen table, I didn't think the Sims would have enough room to walk around in this kitchen, so I decided to completely remove it here in a little bit. Here I found the kitchen shelf and I thought it was great for a final touch here in the kitchen. Now moving on to the bathroom. I think I could have done a better job with the bathroom, to be honest. I mostly just shoved some stuff in here and called it a day. Moving on to the office space, I did the same thing here just like I did in the bathroom. I just kind of threw some things in here and called it a day. Um, I think this office is still fairly decent for your Sims to just come in and use the computer or maybe even just grab a book off the shelf. Now moving on to the living room. I think the best part about the living room is the rug. It is hands down the most beautiful rug I have ever seen. Now in this empty space here by the front door, I decided to put in a piano, but then I thought maybe that was too big. So then I decided to put in a chess table instead. But I didn't quite know where to put it. Now for this bedroom, I kind of did the same thing as I did for the bathroom and the office. I just kind of chucked some furniture in here and called it a day. I just made it as simple as possible. Now this room I make into a kid's room, and of course I wanted to go all out this little kid that's going to live in this house. I haven't made The Sims yet, but I definitely had a kid in mind. So as you can see, I just start decorating, but then eventually I decided to go all out and change the wallpaper and the floor. This is the part where I go back and change the wallpaper to something from the pack. Finally, moving to the outside, I choose a brick wall to go around the entire perimeter of the build, but I decided to add a diagonal corner there because that is where I want to put in the chicken coop, which you'll see here in just a little bit. Here is the chicken coop that I place in. I originally went with that fence, but then changed my mind about it because in my mind, I think chickens can escape that, and I didn't want that happening, so I changed out the fence. And of course, I add some trees because those chickens, they need some shade. Here I decided to use some terrain paint, but I really don't think I'm very good with terrain paint. But as you can see here, I'm going around the perimeter of the house with some dirt. And I think that gives the build a little more definition. Here I decide to go a little more crazier with the terrain paint, but I end up completely removing it in that section where the table is because I really didn't like it. As you can see, I'm erasing it now and then trying to add it back in, but then I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks great. Here I go again with more terrain paint, but like I said, I go back in and erase it because I didn't like that. I don't know why I keep going. I ended up, I don't like it, but see, there it goes. See, there we go, much better. Well, that's it for my build for Speed Build Sunday. Here are some pictures of the build. I hope you really like it. Let me know in the comments section down below what was your favorite part of this build. And as always, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.